Yo, 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 what is going on, team? This is Art, and today I'm going to be going over my trades for today. This is still live as of 8 o'clock PST on 3/31/2021. I apologize for not uploading recently. The market's been kind of choppy, and I've been taking a lot of days off. Obviously, that's not an excuse, but I am working on putting up more lesson-style videos. So let's get into it. Overall, I made 56.28 on the day, and that is playing Tesla, Costco, and Facebook. So overall, oh shoot, Facebook's even higher than where I sold, like a lot. All right, anyways, so firstly, I just wanted to go over this 50 SMA bounce on the hourly chart for Costco. I also noticed that the MACD is starting to cross. Notice we just pinged reversal at 351.66. But we did almost have this crossover event right here for Costco in terms of an hourly chart. Notice RSI is very bullish, and our custom indicator is going from a 3 down to a 1, which is showing a fair amount of bullishness. On top of that, the overall market has been pretty green today. Futures opened up relatively green, so the market was very strong in the morning. That said, the play that I took was Costco. Costco kind of held onto this 350 level. It did sell off slightly in the morning, but the actual performance itself was scooped right back up above 350, which was, again, that same 50 SMA support. So from there, I entered my position. You can tell, let's see, where is it? Costco. At 6:32, I entered my first position in Costco, and I sold it when it hit about 352 and a half. It was a little early. That's all right though, because the overall profit was fairly all right. I made 3,600 on that first position, but that's besides the point. The main reason why I wanted to go over this trade and why it's such an important trade was just the overall setup. Notice here, even on a 4-hour chart, we bounced right off of the 20-day moving average. We are still very bullish in terms of RSI, but we were playing the hourly chart for this day trade. So sometimes people ask me, why are you using the hourly chart for a day trade? It gives you an idea of what the trend is going to be like when you're actually going to take your scalps. So when I saw that we held onto the 50 SMA, that gave me an idea of a relative bullishness going into today's market for Costco in particular. And so notice I ended up also selling right before this little 200 SMA break, mainly because we did start rejecting it. So that explains that little 252 sell. On top of that, I did re-enter upon the 252 like in a quarter break, or 352 rather. My bad. Because we did have this bull flag set up, and once we were able to get back up, I entered, and that's why I'm currently still in. As of right now, that is a swing trade. I do plan on taking profit around 360 for Costco. I'm very bullish on Costco overall, especially with the stimulus news and potential talk that we have with Joe Biden. On top of that, I did also take a Facebook position. This one's a pretty obvious one. Very classic cup and handle pattern. Here's our cup, here's our handle, and it's starting to turn into an inverse head shoulder. But that said, we did enter on the 252 double top break, which was right here, and it continued upwards. We sold, and we saw a pretty nice little profit there, about 10% or so. And it is continuing upwards. My PT was 294. I sold a little earlier than that, and it's currently at 295. This play was, again, just the overall setup was a giant cup and handle using 200 SMA as support. Notice we have a crossover, and we are bullish as hell on RSI. We also went from 3 to a 0 in terms of our custom indicator set. And overall, the performance that Facebook has had has been very straightforward in terms of the patterns. So again, cup, handle. Our MACD crossed. Everything played as it should have played out. Lastly, I have Tesla. Tesla, I swung a few positions, and then I also took a few positions here. So let me just pull up a 5-minute chart just to kind of give you guys an example here. So this morning, I started off with just a call position, mainly because of how tech had opened up. QQQ was running right off the bat. On top of that, we had this kind of bull flag set up in terms of an hourly chart, and we were very bullish on RSI along with pinging a 0. We also had pinged a potential reversal to the upside at 611, which was my reasoning for continuing this thing long. My first profit target was from 350 or from 650, or not from 640 up to 650. I took profit I think at 647. And from there, I ended up taking another position up to the 200-day moving average, and from 200-day moving average up until about 660. So that said, the trades on Tesla were overall very, very predictable and easy to kind of read. And so that's right here what we see. We have our first little sell-off. This is the initial pump up to 650 from that 642, which was 50 SMA support. Notice we sell back off to retest that 642 50 SMA support. After that, we bounce and we headed upwards off of 20 SMA. We crossed over. We're bullish in terms of RSI. So overall, the trade kind of spoke for itself. We also have a bull flag, and then we bull flagged again. As of right now, it almost looks like a normal head and shoulders. So yeah, we just pinged reversal to the downside. So I don't know, maybe I'll enter something for the sake of, kind of showing that off a little bit. But the overall market sentiment was extremely bullish today, so that's why I played the positions that I took. That said, I am very keen on how the market's been kind of acting. Here, I just entered a few contracts of Tesla here, just to kind of show off the indicator set. But we'll have that running in the background. I'm going to take profit here at 655. I'm going to say stop losses at 659. Hopefully this lands within the time span that I'm taking this video or that I'm filming this. Lastly, I just want to go over the sentiment for the market overall. So extremely bullish. I said my last profit target would be about 620, and I believe we tapped it very temporarily. But the main reasoning behind this was this inverse head and shoulders that we have here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. And the main thing that I'm looking at here was the 200 SMA break in terms of pre-market. So once we had that, I knew that we would kind of head upwards, especially with this crossover that we had going into close yesterday. And so it was only a matter of time before we broke above the 200-day moving average, especially with this crossover, this reversal ping. So once we had that, I was very comfortable taking a tech long position, which is why I took Tesla and Facebook, because the overall sentiment for tech stocks was extremely bullish. I wasn't expecting it to run, almost 2% in one day. However, it is what it is, and it did pay out very nicely. It is very overbought right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we retested this 318 level in terms of short term, but that is for another day. And then in terms of a 4-hour chart, we also broke above the 318 200 SMA, which is extremely important because this has been our acting resistance line since, my bad for the background noise. I wasn't expecting everyone to be mowing their lawns today. This has been an acting resistance for the past 2 months. So once we fell below 200 SMA, Qs haven't really gotten back above. So here's our first top, second top, third, fourth, fifth top. And we finally broke above, which is, obviously very bullish. And so once it was able to get above, I was very comfortable, again, taking tech longs, because once we had that full breakout, the sentiment of taking a tech stock had completely changed. And that's why we saw that change of trend, which is why we saw such a green day so early. That said, I am still holding my Costco position. I am swinging this thing until it hits about 360. Also, another really important thing that I'd like to really quickly cover is that NQ finally got back above 13,000, which has been a very key level, in that the majority of the times that we've kind of sat below it have been kind of bearish little moments. And so once we were able to get above there, I've been very, again, bullish. However, when it does fall below, notice we went from 13,000 all the way down to 12,600. And it's been kind of hanging below that ever since then. So that is just something to consider when it comes to taking a trade with tech. Unfortunately, we are kind of running out of time here. I wish this trade with Tesla would have been a little faster. If I do end up, having this full head and shoulders kind of come to fruition, I will just post a little profit screenshot at the end of this video. If not, I guess it didn't happen yet, and I'm still holding it. So that in mind, I am going to call off the video here. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in, and just the overall support has been really great. I apologize again for not uploading as much as I was previously. The market's been really flat, and I've been taking a lot of days off. But yeah, that said, I will call it here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you'd like. I also, if you guys have any constructive criticism, feel free to comment it. I do love reading the comments. So yeah, peace.